If you want to know which gimbal to buy for your Sony ZV-E10, the Zhiyun Crane M3, or the brand new DJI RS3, we have you covered. Let's take a Jam Life tech adventure. Hi everyone, and welcome to Jam Life Tech Adventures. My name's John. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss a thing, and hit the like button. So we now have two new gimbals from DJI, which they have changed around the name slightly on. The replacement for the RS2 is now the RS3 Pro, and the replacement for the RS2 is the RS3. Confused, I was a little at the start, but in short, the right gimbal now for your Sony ZV-E10 is the RS3. But is it worth the upgrade from the RS2, and which gimbal is better, the Zhiyun Crane M3 or the new DJI RS3? Well, let's compare the two in terms of performance with side-by-sides in Sydney Harbour. The first of our tests is the handheld tripod mode, where we try and keep the camera as still as possible using the gimbal. I think the DJI just has it here. The next test, the slow pan, and look, it's too close to tell here. Both gimbals performing really well. I like both results here. And here's the fast pan test. Once again, both gimbals performing really well. I would use either gimbal in this circumstance. And the go mode test here, the DJI dampening just a little bit better, but it's marginal. So once again, very close. So the walking test here, I think the DJI is doing a little bit better. We're getting a little bit more bounce and shake out of the Zhiyun, so I choose the DJI here. And again, I'm a fan of the DJI in the running test. Little bit less bounce and a little bit less shake here in the running test. And here in the walking vlog, just feel like the weight is a little bit easier to handle on the Zhiyun, but the DJI does a better job of stabilisation. In terms of performance, these gimbals are really close, right? But I think from what I've seen so far, the DJI is just a little better at stabilizing your shots. But it's not just about performance. Let's take a look at how other things like affordability, weight and size, and features all come into play here. What are the advantages of each gimbal then? Firstly, let's take a look at the advantages of the Zhiyun Crane M3. Well, we firstly can't go past the price. The Crane M3 is more cost effective at $369 versus $319 for the RS3, and that's in US dollars, by the way. So the RS3 in this form is nearly double the price, and that cannot be shrugged off if you're on a budget. Then let's talk about size and weight. I know a lot of Aussie vloggers I met at Sony Central for a ZV Nation meetup told me that the weight of a gimbal does really matter if they're going to use it all day long. By the way guys, if you live in Australia and a vlogger on Sony cameras and you haven't joined up with the Facebook group ZV Nation yet, I'll link it down below. I will say that the Zhiyun is lighter and more compact, but the DJI has improved somewhat since the RS3 2. It's a lot lighter and in this version has a second handle, which makes things a lot more comfortable and versatile. And when you break it down for travel on the go, it does become something that takes up a similar size in your backpack. But the Crane M3 does win overall here. Lastly, that built-in light on the Crane M3 can get you out of some late night or indoor situations. But with the great low light performance of the ZV-E10, I found I'm not using the light very often. So now the advantages of the DJI RS3. Number one for me is the Pro features. With the Sony ZV-E10, this time DJI have got it right with this camera, releasing all the features you could want right off the bat at release. So you have all the controls listed here with cable connection and also some with Bluetooth shutter. I really like this a lot. Finally, we have control over the camera with a gimbal and even image transmitter so that you can send the camera's image to your phone and also control some of the camera's features. There's even active track. I was overwhelmed, thought we would never get this for the ZV-E10 after only getting that start-stop video for the RS3 This gimbal also does auto lock on the 3-axis, which I know seems trivial, but when you're vlogging on the go and consistently moving, it saves so much time. No more unlocking the 3-axis one by one and missing that shot. Oh no. This is a really cool feature and works when you put the gimbal in sleep mode and when you power it down. Next, build quality. The gimbal is built mostly of lightweight metal and is obviously more of a pro product as soon as you pick it up. And the weight difference between this and the RS3 is very much appreciated. And lastly, ease of use to me goes to the RS3. The app is much easier to follow and use, and balancing the camera is so much easier thanks to smoother adjustments. And the camera seems to go onto the gimbal much easier. I also really like the new mode switch on the side. Good thinking, DJI. So which one of these gimbals is the best for vlogging? Ultimately, because that's what this channel's about. Look, I need a little bit more time with the RS3, but for me right now it's winning. The weight reduction makes it a lot more pleasant to carry around. Not perfect yet, but getting there. And I just love the auto lock. Makes it so much easier. And the fact that you can control the camera from the gimbal in so many ways, for me, gives it the win. But if you're on a budget and you really want something lightweight and control of the camera is not your thing, then you really fit well with the Crane M3. Ultimately, Zhiyun, if you do an update to control the ZV-E10, which by the way seems to be the perfect camera for the Crane M3, you may win me back some. But we want to hear from you guys. Have you or are you going to buy either the Crane M3 or the DJI RS3 for your Sony ZV-E10 and why? Leave a comment below. We always love to hear from you. And that's it for today's video. Hope it helped. We're back with plenty more videos coming very soon. Please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, hit the like button, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next Jam Life Tech Adventure.